Yo, it is me, Doncho. Welcome back to the Hideout, you guys. And as you guys can tell from the video title, we are not doing a chapter discussion today. We will be talking about Mahito. Dun, 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 dun. That's right. We will be talking about my favorite cursed spirit so far in the story of Jujutsu Kaisen, and that is Mahito, the humanoid curse, all the curse created from hatred between humans. Um, Honestly, Mahito is definitely one of my favorite characters. Aside from just, speaking of he's my favorite curse, he is definitely one of my favorite characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. And there's a lot of things about his character that stand out, that pop, that are just very, 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 very unique and just make him perfect for what he is used for in the story of Jujutsu Kaisen. But before we get into all of that, intro. All right, so where to begin with Mahito? First and foremost, if you do not feel like listening to me talk, which I hope you're here because you want to hear me talk, I do have a Medium article out on Mahito. The description is right in the, I'm sorry, not the description, the link is right in the description right below you if you want to read that too as well. It's only like an 8-9 minute read. You can check that out anytime you feel like it. If you feel like you want to expound upon what I was already talking about here, or you feel like you'd rather just go read one of the things I'm going to be bringing up, then boom, you can always go do that and check that out. It helps me out when you guys click those articles anyway, so either way you do it, I would love it if you guys did that. But specifically speaking about what we're going to do here in this video, as you guys know, I don't go in scripting my videos. I come in and I discuss what I want to discuss and I get things handled, and I pretty much do that because scripting videos I feel like causes me to come off more stoic. It makes me come off more or less emotionally driven when I'm talking about these things, and I'd rather let those things stand out as I'm talking about these characters than just give you some scripted blanket straight up boom, here it is talking about the characters. Even if I added a few jokes in here and there, I feel like doing it like this is a lot more organic. And so with that being said, where I would like to start about when we're talking about Mahito is focusing on just what his goal is in the story. And that goal would pretty much is to be himself, right? Mahito is a humanoid curse that, as he said himself, was created from the hatred between humans. And he has this ability to be able to see souls, touch souls with his cursed energy and be able to mold them and change them and form them into things, which also causes the body to change, which creates this very powerful symbolism between the body and the soul in Jujutsu Kaisen. And even Mahito himself says that, humans don't have hearts. It is the body and the soul, and the body forms based around what the soul is. You kind of get what I'm saying? So the soul came before the body, and the soul is what forms the body, which is a very interesting philosophical way to look at that. And so with that being said, Mahito is basically the cusp, I'm sorry, not the cusp, but the core of who Mahito is. The core of who Mahito is a character who basically, since he is a curse that is driven on emotion, right? A curse that is created from emotion, his desires are probably the most important things to him. If not probably, but they are definitely the most important thing to him. Even he himself, when speaking to Jogo in Shibuya arc, talks about how we are curses. We live through our desires. We live for our desires. We work toward our desires. That's what he is. He's a curse that truly genuinely believes that. And since he's a curse that completely understands his purpose as a curse, it makes him extremely powerful. Not even just powerful in the sense of just fighting, it makes him powerful in the sense of logistics, logic. It makes him very powerful in terms of psychology, where he's able to go into these instances with jujutsu sorcerers. He's able to go into these instances with other humans and be able to fully embody himself as he feels. And so that's what probably makes Mahito one of my favorites, is that he is a character that is very honest in every way. He doesn't really even lie. Even when he was dealing with Junpei, he was telling Junpei the complete and honest truth. He was like, I won't judge you, Junpei, or not judge you, but I won't, stop you from doing what you want to do, taking revenge on humans, this, that, and the third. That was him being honest. And then as he was learning more about Junpei and just how easily fooled Junpei is, he also just was like, this kid is an idiot, like he's so easily kind of, flipped on Junpei, went from like okay, I'm gonna see what this kid is about because he can see me and he's my little toy, and I'm gonna mess with him and see what's up. To like, okay, I'm sick of this toy. I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna use him for what I need to get done. To get Sukuna to have that binding vow with Yuji Itadori, even though he already had it. You gotta get what I'm saying. And so that is probably the beginning of what makes Mahito such an amazing character for me. But I think what elevates him up there, it takes him to a level where he is definitely beyond what I have seen from other antagonists in a while, is that he is very antagonizing. It's weird to say it like that, but he's one of the best antagonists because he's antagonizing. But like he's not a regular antagonizing, right? He's an antagonizing that hits the core of who Yuji is, and because him and Yuji are two separate people who are legit opposites of each other, he literally does things that hits Yuji so deep in the heart, so deep in his core, that it has to cause Yuji to grow. It has to cause Yuji to become something more, right? And that could be a video probably on itself if we're talking about Mahito and Yuji's relationship. But when we're specifically looking at Mahito, he does that with more than just Yuji, though. Even when he was fighting Nobara, and he's going into these instances fighting against Nobara, and you know, when he had that moment of him trying to use Nobara to break Yuji down, him realizing that Nobara was another mortal enemy of his, he had to switch it up entirely. You know, and even before that, he was talking to her, trying to antagonize her, like, you know, like saying like, oh, you're not that good, you're not that strong, that, and the third, and then, you know, getting the shock in his life when her curse technique hits his soul really powerful, and then can bounce and hit the other, the original body soul, and then come back and hit the clone again, and then like it's those moments where Mahito's all like, oh, okay, well, new plan. But like, you know, it's really awesome because he keeps the jujutsu sorcerers on their toes, in fight situations and in just with planning situations with the help of Geto, of course. He definitely keeps them on their toes. He keeps them very tip top up shape. Okay, I got to get together. And so what I specifically want to talk about with Mahito again is that the psychology behind him reflecting human beings, right? I feel like Akutami created Mahito to literally be that mirror, as Jogo stated in Shibuya arc. He is he is death, you know, and death is a mirror for us humans, as Jogo says, and Mahito is that mirror. Mahito literally is out here to kill more than just how I think the other special grade curses are, you know. Mahito's really out here to kill. Like, he's out here to get the job done. He's out here to kill as many humans as he can. He don't really try to remember them. He's just trying to off them and then figure out more about himself. And I think that's what's so awesome, is because he isn't consciously trying to learn more about himself. What he consciously does is try to learn more about how he can fight, right? What his techniques can do, how he can play things, how he can finesse things. You know, that's what was going on when he was fighting the Nami, where he was all like, "Oh, you're gonna be a great test subject. Oh my God, I can't wait. Like, I'm gonna fight you, and I'm about to see all this stuff I can do, and like, bet I'm about to grow and da da da." Like that's who Mahito is at the cusp of him. But then when you go deeper in, he is subconsciously, as he tries to learn more about what he can do with his technique, he's learning more about himself and more about the soul, and diving into a lot bigger and more important things that actually apply to the story of Jujutsu Kaisen. You know what I mean? When you look at how he is able to easily break down someone's psychology just because he can see their soul. Like when the Nami tries to say, "I don't bring my personal emotions to work," and Mahito just starts laughing. He's like, "You're saying that, you're like a terrible liar. Your soul is literally like shaking. Like, I'm seeing your soul waver. I can see that already. That's my technique. You know, you're not fooling me with that." And I think that's really awesome, because that also shows to us that why jujutsu sorcerers, that they try to act like they aren't, that sometimes they do try to act like they are very stoic, that they have to try to act as strong as they can, right? They have to try to act as calm and collected as possible, and Mahito will see through that just because of his technique. So, and it's very interesting because the jutsu sorcerers don't have conscious ability, and I say conscious because Nanami was able to subconsciously protect his soul. So I don't think they have conscious awareness of their soul. They don't have conscious awareness of their souls. They don't know, like, my soul is something I can maybe control, I can feel, or put energy around. They don't have that ability. So it's almost like a facade. You know, when like, you know, Nanami trying to put on that whole everything's cool, everything's fine, everything's dandy. It is almost like a facade until you get moments like Toto, where Toto comes in and he's like, no, you got to understand that, excuse me, you got to understand that this is what happens. You know, we're Jujutsu sorcerers. We are the exception. You know, we are going to come in here and we are going to get it done. We are going to handle it. We gotta do this for the people that we may already lost and things like that. So when you look at Mahito and his ability to break down these Jujutsu sorcerers by looking at their souls, it makes him such a profound character for Jujutsu Kaisen, because the soul seems to becoming one of the very, very, very crucial pieces of this, which is probably, you know, the soul was connected to Yuji and Sukuna switching. The soul was connected to Getu having Geto's body. All of those things are all connected, and it seems that Akutami was using Mahito to introduce it to us, but he might not be the character to propel it for us, which I find very interesting. But going back into Mahito, and specifically, let's go back to talking about him fighting Yuji and him discovering Black Flash and him using it, and in him touching that core of curse energy, that special curse energy. Now he's all like, oh, I get it now. I get I'm feeling more of my soul. I have to get that Black Flash again to get more of my soul. And now he's consciously chasing after himself. He's constantly chasing after the true essence of his soul, the true nature of who he is. And it makes him even more like a human, right? Because that's what we're all doing. Every day, even if you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, like Mahito was at first, you're looking for your true self. And then it becomes a point to where you have to consciously realize you're looking for your true self. You have to realize, okay, I might not know who I am. I don't know what my values are. I don't know what I'm reaching for. I have to go find that now. I have to go figure it out. And I think that's what makes Mahito so awesome, because he's supposed to be a curse, but he's so relatable in that fashion. And just like how the other special grade curses were like nature, he's like a human, and that's why he's so unpredictable. That's why he's doing stuff. You don't know what a human being is going to do, especially when they're lost in emotion. You don't know what another person's going to do. You can know somebody so well and they would do something to shock you. You like, bro, you did that for real? And they all like, yeah, bro, you know, I was angry, or I was just so sad, or I was too happy, I was too excited. It's like you don't really know. Sometimes humans do things that are so unprecedented and so unlike them just because of emotion, right? Because of desire. And that's what makes Mahito so awesome, because he shows us that time and time and time and time again in every instance. Even when he was kicking the shit out of Yuji in the stomach and was yelling at him and was like, you really thought you was gonna come here and shit was gonna be sweet, fine, dandy? You thought you was gonna just be here, come in here like some Ghostbuster and just kill some curses and move on? He's like, no, this is a battle of wills. This is a battle of ideals. This is a battle of truths. My truth as a curse, your truth as a Jujutsu sorcerer, and you're not even aware of your truth as a Jujutsu sorcerer, nor are you aware of my truth as a curse. So how you expect to beat me? And Yuji had to learn that in this fight. He had to pick that up in the fight against Mahito. He had to pick that up so fast, and then he finally gets it. But it did take a character like Mahito to propel him. It took his mortal enemy, as Mahito said, to propel him, to take him to a level of, okay, I have to stop applying logic to every single one of these curses. I can't apply logic to these curses. The logic to these curses is that they're here to destroy. And that's what Yuji had to realize by the end of his fight. And that's what makes Mahito perfect to me for the story of Jujutsu Kaisen. And even if he was to leave the story now, when this was his final arc, we're not going to see him anymore. He's going to be exorcised, dead, or even if he is saved and now he's not just himself and he's controlled by Getu and he has to do all the other things, I think that even if that's the case, what he has done for the story has been perfection. What he has done for the story has done nothing but propel it. Killing Nanami, hurting Kugisaki, hurting Todo, all of those things are things that are going to have to make the Jujutsu sorcerers become more aware, become more woke, and realize that these special grade curses are not something to play with. There's still other special grade curses out there that we know of. We still have the ones that are labeled that we haven't seen yet. These groups that we just ran into were unknown. We have the known ones we know, and this group that we just saw in Shibuya were unknown special grade curses that could talk and stuff like that. So it's a lot more that we're going to be getting that's going to really show that the psychology that Mahito placed on these characters is going to continue throughout the rest of the story. Mahito is just such a beautiful character to watch, even as a villain. because he makes you appreciate your own humanity, at least in my opinion. He makes me appreciate the fact that because I am a human and not a curse, I feel desires, but I have an ability to logically break down my desires and break down my truths and then figure out what I want to do from there that makes the best logical decision, for the betterment of my world. And while someone like Mahito makes foolish decisions, like because of desires, like he's like, I'm gonna kill Yuji even if it means Sukuna has to go. Well, dude, like how the hell are you gonna fucking stop Sukuna? Or like, and then you trying to go against Yuji in this moment instead of plotting it out and being more precise, it's now gotten you killed, got you defeated. It's awesome because it's like at first him moving on his desires was doing him good. Like as a human, you're moving on just your desires is doing you good. But then at some point you're gonna hit a wall because it's more than just that in life, even for these curses, even though they're just entities created by emotion. It's just really, really awesome. And then him even saying to Yuji, wish me happy birthday, him finding the true essence of his soul by killing Yuji. Him feeling like once I get rid of this bright entity, once I get rid of this Jujutsu sorcerer who is just so good and so kind-hearted, then I'm going to discover who I really am. And I think that is what's powerful because Mahito was shaped by everyone around him, by Jogo, by Choso, by Dagon, by Hanami, by Getu. All of them have shaped him in a way to who he is as a character. And he has done so many things that makes me applaud the way he is written because he just comes in and he gives you a perspective kind of reminding you of just how serious things are, reminding you just how real the situation is and just how deep these things can go. When he came in and he killed Junpei in front of Yuji, and he told Junpei, like, you think you're so smart. Like he even told Junpei, oh yeah, if you find those dude with those buttons, those are Jujutsu sorcerers. You should talk to them. I think you'll get along. He didn't even try to. It was part of the plan, but it was still such a genuine truth that if Junpei had just a little bit of a different outlook on life and wasn't so negatively wrapped in life, he could have taken that in a whole different way. He could have thought Mahito was a good person or good being, and then went with Yuji like, yeah, well, this Mahito dude told me I might like you guys, and he's like, who's Mahito? And then after he describes who Mahito, that changes the whole ballgame. But he's not, Junpei wasn't thinking like that. But it is very interesting, though, how honest Mahito has been across the board. Even to Hup Hup, I forgot what Hup Hup's name is. The person with the lucky jujutsu ability with the hand. He put his arm around him and was like, "Don't forget your place, curse user, human. I'll kill you." Like he tells him, like, I'll kill you, dog. Like you're not a curse. I don't have no problem killing you. Like he's very truthful, very honest, and I just love that as his character. And I think he has affected every single Jujutsu Kaisen character he has run into in some shape, form, or fashion, and even learning. And he learns so much. He learns through everything, like being able to do a 0.2 domain like Gojo just from being hit by one from Gojo, him adapting while fighting Todo and Yuji, adapting while fighting Nanami and Yuji back then, adapting while just fighting Nanami, learning more about himself every single time he has a run and every single time he has a scrap, learning about Black Flash, him realizing when he uses Black Flash he's weaker, getting that type of dialogue and information as an audience member about more about Juryoku and Curse Energy through Mahito makes him such a profound character in every level, And that's why I love him so much. That's why I love the things he do. That's why I love the way he's portrayed. That's why I love the way that Akutami has handled him. And I can't wait to get more characters like him, whether they be curses or curse users, And I know Akutami is going to give us more just from how the story has been propelling. I can already tell this is going to be a series that Akutami is going to make sure to tap into these psychological and sociological aspects, especially for Yuji and Sukuna. I think that's going to become a whole deeper thing, and Mahito's going to be a psychological centerpiece for that for Yuji, And Yuji said it. He's like, my life may have meaning 100 years from now, but I am you. So that to me is just so profound, and I'm loving how Akutami has handled it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you guys enjoyed my breakdown of Mahito and just my personal thoughts and opinions on who Mahito is as a character. If there's anything that you guys feel like I missed, please hit me in the comment section below. Like I said, I will be putting my Medium article down there in the bottom, so you can have a more straightforward read. You know, my videos are a more straight up discussion, you guys. They're straight up me just blanket stating. So if you want to see something more streamlined, more professionally written, please check out my video on my description down below with my Medium articles. If you are new here because you've seen the video and want to check out Mahito, please hit that like button if you liked it, hit that dislike button if you didn't. Please hit the subscribe button and come back. I would love to see you guys. I love it every time you guys come back and you guys check out the Hideout, and I really appreciate the energy you guys bring here. So, as usual, it is me, Doncho. Peace. Young Noise.